Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Awakening with Sarah. I'm your host, Sarah Adams, musician and transformational life coach, bringing you powerful wisdom, helpful tools, and inspiring music to support you on your journey of awakening. And this episode features my special guest, Manpreet mindfulness coach. After 20 plus years as a successful IT professional in corporate America, Manpreet had it all, but he was unfulfilled and unhappy, for he did not feel that he was in control. Suddenly he realized if he died tomorrow, all he'd be known for was 20 years of career success and nothing more. It wasn't enough for him. So he worked feverishly to get out of an unfulfilling rut. Now he helps other successful professionals find purpose and meaning after success. Manpreet wears multiple hats. As a father, son, husband, and friend to many beautiful souls. In his free time, you can find him on walks, listening to audiobooks, or just sitting and doing nothing. He is passionate about sharing what his mindfulness journey has taught him. And I'd like to welcome Manpreet to our show. So Manpreet, so great to have you on today, and I'm looking forward to our conversation.
And I am so glad to be here talking to you. And, the last time we chatted, I listened to your song and then we met, and just looking forward to what unfolds out of this conversation. So,
yeah. So what I wanted to learn is kind of like how your journey from working in software engineer and things like that, and then how you kind of awakened and began to expand. I mean,
yeah,
awaken's a big word, but how you began to know that you wanted more from life, than
yeah,
that work. I'd love to hear
yeah,
that story.
absolutely. So I was born and raised in India, and grew up in a middle income class family. We didn't have the growing up, we didn't have everything that rich kids have,
Right.
which was a blessing. So there's always something that we didn't have or kept us wanting. And when you grow up in that environment, one thing is very likely to happen is you grow with the desire of making lots of money, being successful, because you want to overcome the things you didn't like in your childhood or what was not available.
Right.
And so I had that dream, and for me, that I saw being in computers or doing something in IT that could change it. And being in United States. So at the age of 23, I landed up in United States just 1 month before 9/11.
Oh,
And
wow. What a time to come.
yeah, in a 1 month, everything changed. I was a very different land where I landed. I I had dreams of finding the computer job in computer, and all of a sudden, everything was just down the rabbit hole. And I had to decide whether I stay or go back and come back when the time is better. Um, I decided to stay because I didn't know if there would be the next another chance. So I took chance and stayed back. And first few years, I just did the odd jobs, working at gas station, delivering pizza, um, in these different jobs at retail stores, working as cashier. And in I think in few years I got a chance back to work in a company as a software programmer, and I started getting back into it. And and then slowly I progressed my career. I did a lot of different things on the side because I was single. I was still hungry for making a lot of more money, and I always wanted to find out what else I could do, which in a way helped because um, it put me in vicinity of people who were really, really successful,
Yeah.
uh, and that helped me bring awareness. Like it added the perspective, the bigger perspectives that I
Hmm.
didn't have. I learned how to do sales. I learned about mindset. So all that coaching while I was learning, I actually used to travel um, 1 hour each way to my work for my job, and I started listening to audio CDs at that time. I'll buy books, any book somebody would recommend, buy the audio CD and I'll listen. And I didn't notice, like little, but it started to change my mindset and the way I thought. Although it was not apparent to me or um, immediately apparent to the people that I worked with.
Right.
But later in the years, as I progressed in career, as I started to get opportunities that lined up what I have learned in, last decade, it just excelled my career and all all was going good. I mean, I moved back to India for 10 years. I spent a couple of years there, and then I moved to UK and progressed my career, and everything was doing good. I was married, settled, children, you know, so
Mhm.
everything one could say was the way the society tells what you should be doing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Those are the things, right? Yeah, get the career, get married, have the
Yeah,
children. My husband's
yeah,
preparing some stuff in the kitchen, but it won't be
yeah,
too long that he's off to work. Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, so you were in the UK and
yeah,
you kind of all settled in and feeling like, okay, I've checked
mm,
things off my
yeah.
right? And then
Mm.
then what happened?
Then it was like, I was realizing that I'm running for the next. Like all of a sudden, I came to a point where I didn't know anything that was next other than making more money, other than,
Right.
getting a house, bigger house. It was always more than what I had, but it was the same things that
Yeah.
I had done. So, and I started to question whether that was all to the life, like making more money,
Right. Is
making
this all there
bigger
is kind of
houses.
thing? Hmm.
So, and and just I think um, it was the September before the COVID or October before the COVID, I started to really feel something in me was like telling me that, "Hey, this is not right. Like you should be a lot more happier. You should be a lot more fulfilled." And I wasn't. And I started finding out the reasons. I started looking my life backwards when I was working 15 years ago when I was working in gas stations. I saw that Manpreet to be far more happier.
Oh, wow.
Because
That's a
the,
wake up call, huh?
yeah, it was because that time, A, I didn't have nothing to lose. B, I had more freedom in a sense. I made less, but I spent less. I had no worries. I had no responsibilities.
Yeah.
And I had the hope that, I was going to get that job. The dream was still there. But here now I have lived the dream and I wasn't happy. So it was like, okay, and I asked this question to myself that if I were to die tomorrow, what would people say about me? Did I make any difference? Did I change any life? Did I impact? I mean, outside my immediate family, did I mean anything to anybody? And I didn't like the answers because nothing outside my selfish needs that I could point and say, okay, yes, I made a difference. I did something, and
Mhm.
that sort of was moment of uh, awakening that created this ripple effect of me getting to find out more and more and more, and that more has led to this.
And so tell me about this more. I know I
Yeah.
attended a little workshop that you did about um,
Mm.
self-love and self-healing, and that was
Hmm.
really sweet. But tell me about are you still working in software in the industry now, or are you, and
Yeah.
you're doing
Yeah.
part-time, you're starting to create these like this self-love meditation,
Yeah.
things like that?
Yeah. So initially, when I decided that I wanted to do something, I started mindset coaching because that's what I knew, and I thought that's what people needed.
Yeah.
um, but um, but I also quickly realized that a lot of people don't even know what mindset is, like that term itself. So people would
Right.
ask, "What is it?" And I had to find, and so I kept doing that, and slowly, as I progressed, as I got in tune with my own self, I recognized there was a leaning into the spiritual wisdom, inner wisdom, and as I leaned more, I enjoyed it more, and there was another moment of awakening where I was like, why am I running and teaching mindset and team building and leadership, while what I'm enjoying a lot more is, for my personal, is this inner wisdom. And so in a way I was still creating a gap between what I
Yeah.
enjoy doing, but what I was presenting to the world, what I was giving. And I said to myself, maybe I want to change things and do something that I enjoy doing. So, and when I'm sharing and I'm doing, I'm just being, I'm not, so there is no gap between what I do for myself and what I share with others. It's just one and the same thing.
Yeah, I love that. There's no gap. I mean, that's still what I'm looking for, is that like that gap, right? Because I'm
Yeah.
always thinking, okay, how do I present like all these different gifts that
Mm,
are kind of my being? It's just what I do, like
mm,
a fountain fountains out water, right? It's like, so okay, so which rivulet of water is going to serve the most? And then that's one question, but then there's also which rivulet of water is going to
mm,
be able to be marketable and is like in demand. And so there's always that question of like
mm,
of that, which I think takes it out of the realm of just pure overflow and
mm,
okay, I love to do this, and so let's do this. And sometimes I think that if money weren't in the equation, it would be so natural to, you know, to just be ourselves and be
mm,
our joy. And people who were inspired by us would see us in our joy, and it would just be so simple. And there wouldn't be
mm,
like, okay, what can I market? I mean, I get kind of stuck in that place of like, what do I market? Like, what's next? Like, how do I make it happen? Because
mm, mm, mm,
so, and self love and coaching and in my own healing practice, my favorite thing is just to be there for people. Like it's so
mm.
simple, right? Like just to be there with them on
Yeah.
the journey and love them, support them. Sometimes I channel for them about
Mm,
like their star origins, and
mm,
if there's any beings in their ancestry or their star lineage even that want to communicate with them about
mm,
their path. I'll bring forth that sometimes. And sometimes I do sound healing and light language, and it all just kind of flows.
mm,
And so I hear what you're saying about like just letting it, you know, no separation between you doing your life
mm, mm,
and then giving that. And that, I mean, I hope that in the future, more and more we can be freed from jobs that aren't like stimulating and activating our joy
mm.
and our
Yeah.
passion every moment of our lives, because you
Mm,
know, we're in a fallen system where we've
yeah.
got separation consciousness, and we've still, you know, and it's like, okay guys, I just want to live on the land with
Mm,
my soul family and just and
mm,
travel and
mm,
enjoy being, you know, enjoy being together.
mm,
And I that's enough. I feel like that's enough. But this in this culture that we're raised in, you know, it's kind of like I was talking to my friend who channels the angels, and I was
mm,
just like, capitalism is so not conducive to freedom, joy, and bliss. It's not conducive to it. So
Mm,
what's going to happen? Are we going to get earned basic income, like widespread for every citizen, everyone in the world, that
mm,
has, so that they can focus on their creativity, their joy, and not have these root chakra like survival. Like, I gotta
mm,
make this green paper because I gotta pay for that, and I gotta, because that's not. It's like, so the angels, they had an interesting answer for me, and I wanted to share
mm.
that with you.
Sure.
They said this is the nervous system upon which awakening will happen,
Mm,
right? It's
mm,
like there had to be a transitional system, which is not ideal, but it's been flushed out. All parts of it have, it's like almost like a circulatory system in a body that has been
mm,
created through our economic system, our
mm,
religious, all of it together. And this is not our end state. This is the
mm,
transitional grid from which we awaken.
mm.
And so that's all cool, but I'm like, just bring on the awakening. I'm tired of the transitional grid. It's just not doing it for me, right? It's just like, thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, money, and thank you, economy, and thank you for the ability to be here. But now I want to party. I
Mm,
want to have the mass awakening. I want us to just be able to travel with active transport. No more trying to take planes everywhere. Really getting our technologies back as star beings. I'm getting a little far out, but I know it's possible. Free energy. Tesla brought free energy. There
mm,
should be no electricity on this planet. It's been totally
mm,
suppressed. So my friends are saying, 2025 is this big technological revolution where we'll get free energy, we'll get med beds. My
mm,
friend actually makes a medical bed that's just incredibly powerful and healing. And he plants these source seeds with trees in order for
mm,
trees to mitigate earth changes, because these are 8 dimensional source seeds that he's planting with trees.
mhm,
They're being planted, and that's what creates this 8 dimensional grid which balances earth changes. So I mean, there's
mm,
just incredible things out there. It's just that there's only glimpses of them, like poking like a seed out of the soil,
mm,
and
mm.
the basic status quo remains kind of the same. So I'm restless. I mean, there's a part of me that's restless, like, bring it on. You're like, I want to come
Yeah.
over there and visit you. Bam, active transport. I don't want to have to deal with money. I just want to play. I just want to play and have fun. That's
Yeah.
really it. At the end of the day, it's all about joy. It's like joy is our true state. That's our true state. So
Yeah.
everything else is just this transitional thing that
Mm,
that's in place. We have to
yeah.
have something in place to move to the next level. And so that's
Mm,
what the angels told me. And I was like, okay, okay.
mhm,
But I'm very impatient. I'm just like, I've been awake since 1983. And that's almost 40 years of, it's like you're awake before dawn.
mm,
You can see the new earth. You can feel everything in the new earth. You can feel us like in communities and in synergy and co-creation and traveling and having total freedom and just
mm, mm,
lots of joy. But then you wake up and you're still in this grid, and you have to,
mm.
like, another day in this grid. Okay, I just got to accept it and love it and be in gratitude. But I want the new earth, so I'm like, yeah, I'm really feeling that, especially today. That's why I'm like, just stay in it, stay in it. Let's just play. But
Yeah.
when you were doing the guided visualization, and I'm just going to be totally honest with you, I had
Mm.
slept like 3 hours the night before. It was a rough night, so I fell asleep.
Which
So
is good.
what I was wondering, and I probably got a lot when I fell asleep, but I was wondering if you could just kind of summarize that meditation journey. I know there were strings that had heavy things attached to this man, or
Mm,
ourselves, seeing ourselves
mm,
with these strings attached and burdens, and we're trying to climb a
mm.
mountain. Was there a mountain involved?
Yeah, yeah.
Could you just, like, could you kind of,
I will. I will.
yeah, because I fell
Yeah.
asleep.
Before I go there, I want to just call out a few things that showed up when you were talking about the money and all. I think few things I've realized, and I have the similar challenges in the way that money does still have a hold. Like it tries to, when things change and you're like trying to control. Uh, but most of the time, what I've realized is it's not money. It's me just trying to control the outcome, and money
Yeah.
is just one part of it. And as you were talking, what happened was up just where I sit behind or in front of me there is a window, and as you were talking about money and all the issues and all that, I saw a bird flying in the sky, and it brought a thought like, uh, birds do not have any worry about money, but they still need to do their part to feed their stomach. Like they have a different challenge. They're not attached. If their stomach is full, they are all happy. Whereas with humans, if we are hungry, we have only one problem, that hungriness, right? Or our hunger is the problem. But when our stomach is full, we don't have hunger problem. Then we have
Then our
10,000
then
problems.
our brain kicks in, right? Because like,
Yeah,
yeah, do you know about
yeah. So
Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? So
yeah,
you
yeah.
have one need met, and then it just explodes into all the other things.
Yeah, yeah. So
Totally.
the work is, I guess, I think more and more I believe is that there are certain things that I think I need to be working on, and I offer that for anybody who is listening and may find any um, resonance with it. Is that first is that we need to, whenever we are having this survival mode kick in, like, I don't have money, what happens tomorrow? So it's not recognized, it's not about what happens tomorrow, it's about what you do today about what happens tomorrow, and which is, you can worry yourself into it and think all the worst case scenarios which are likely to then happen, or you can sit with it and uh, see what happens if you really make it okay for things to fall apart, for heavens to crumble. And the worst come worst scenario every single
Yes.
time you sit with that is that you're going to die. And if that is the worst scenario, actually is the best scenario, because you're gonna get free of all this mental harassment that you have built for yourself, right?
Right. I mean, that's the ultimate victory, right? When you can go to the
Yeah, yeah,
absolute worst case scenario and be like, okay,
yeah.
and but see, for me, like, I don't think, well, death does scare me. I mean, there's that part of
It
the
does.
ego, the egoic control over
Yeah,
this
yeah.
particular level of consciousness. Let's face it, it feels kind of, it's strong. I mean, I've been going through ego death for about 40 years, and my ego still is like, no,
So
I
I'm
don't
gonna
want to
go.
experience that. But when I go to
Yeah,
sleep, sometimes I'm asleep, or I go through so many conscious deaths.
yeah,
I've died so many times. By the time I actually die, I'll be so good at it. I'll just be like, oh,
yeah,
I
yeah,
guess this
yeah,
is the
yeah,
actual thing, you know? But at the same
yeah,
time, it's like, I don't think I really feared death. It's more suffering that I feared.
yeah,
Like if I
yeah,
knew that, if I knew that I could just like close my eyes or just leave my body, disconnect the silver cord and, go back to one of my star systems, that would be fine. It's just that the suffering. I think that I've had
yeah.
so many lifetimes where I've died in ways that were really prolonged and horrific. I'm not doing that this time. I mean, I know that that's not going to happen. But sometimes I do imagine, like, what if the way to make money never comes for me? And what if my
Then what
mom's
happens?
money and Frank's money and it's not enough to travel or to be free or to have the life I want?
Yeah, yeah,
And then I just have to be like, one step at a time, right? Because all you can do is one step at a time. And all you can do is be in this now, in this one step at a time. And it's like one of the things that, my higher self always says to me, you've always been taken care of. Like every
mm,
step of your life, you've had not only everything you need, but a surplus of
mm,
everything you
mm.
need. So why are you so sure and ready to project like disaster into the future.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
not at all what's been behind you. Why can't you just see this, unfolding? Maybe you don't know how it's going to unfold and you want it to unfold the way you want it to unfold. I'm talking to my mind, right? It's
Mm,
like I want to get more healing clients and I want my music to spread and I should be leading group songs and group choirs and haven't I written my book yet? All the things that you think it should be like. And the higher self and God are just like, well, but guess what? It's like this. And you've got
mm,
you've got to accept this,
mm,
you
mm.
know? And that's
The
and this is at a level of like career and success in the world. This feels extremely lacking. But at,
mm, mm,
at the level of, I guess I'd say, um, the amount of the soul that I have embodied that's been able to come into this body, that's
mm,
rich. That is
mm,
rich. I mean, because I've been on this underground trek to get
mm,
all my soul pieces back. And of course, I say underground, but they come from the stars. The ones that are
mm,
the most buried in these deep entrenched traumas are the ones that are the highest frequency from my
mm,
multidimensional layers. So my whole egoic nature has just been like basically prostrated in order to get
mm,
these higher pieces in here. And that's my
mm.
whole life. And maybe there'll be something big that goes forward once everything gets in here. Or maybe the earth will be ascended by the time everything gets in here and we can just play. Either way is fine with me.
Mm.
Just, so that's kind of
Yeah.
giving you a little insight, you know, into me
Yeah,
as
no, it's wonderful. Maybe what I can offer is maybe we can go a little deeper, and maybe I will be offering for our side to the audiences. When
yeah.
you see that uh, we all have the dreams, we all have the things we want to do that are dependent on money. For example, you know, it, the question is, which you asked, what if you don't have that money? And then you answered by saying maybe you'll have to take steps. But I think one of the ways you can be okay with it is feel into it. What if there are no steps? There's no money, period. Like what happens? Like what happens if you're not able to do those XYZ things? I'm not saying you won't or you shouldn't.
Right. It's like
Yeah.
the quality of presence, right? Because everything's a frequency. Like, right? Everything ultimately, every
Mm,
single form that you could point at or grasp at is only being grasped at because you
mm.
want the frequency. So if you
Yeah.
can just become the frequency, then you don't have to have anything fancy. You literally could just be where you are and
Yeah.
very simple life, but be vibrating in this frequency of self-love, this frequency of joy. Because I
Mm.
think at the bottom of everything is the desire for the frequency of joy, right?
Yeah, yeah, and that's where I was thinking, like, if you feel into it, what it feels like, not having money. I am not saying you shouldn't, but just seeing that the one that is afraid of not having money, and that part of you, that program, that pattern, whatever you want to call it, there is something within you that is afraid, and all it needs to it doesn't need money or it doesn't need anything to be done. It just needs to be seen. Just like the last time when we met, we were doing this meditation that we want to see, we want just to see ourselves. And part of that meditation was that the process was that we are um, imagining that you are walking on a mountain. You have a heavy bag on your shoulders full of stuff. It's heavy. And then you also have strings tied to your waist by which there are, again, weights uh, uh, attached to those strings. And with all that, you are just climbing the mountain. And as you see that person, you recognize this is you, and you there comes a point where you just like, okay, I'm gonna take off my bag, I'm gonna take off all the weights that are straining. I'm just going to put it for the earth, on the earth, and just I'm going to breathe in for a moment and just to, you know, feel what it feels like who you are without all those responsibilities, because that baggage, that responsibility, all that got it from here. Even the body that you put that baggage on, you got it and from here. And as you get free of them, you feel the freshness, the freedom. You recognize that, you know, even though you think you've been carrying that weight on your shoulders, it's actually earth that has been carrying you. You not, you are carrying the weight, and that weight has been carried by the earth where you walk, where you lay down. So recognizing um, that you have option to lay the weight down and never pick it up again
Mm.
and walk freely is the power. It's seeing yourself. That's when you see yourself, that you have that option, never picking that weight of that, thinking that you may not have money tomorrow. And who knows? Nobody knows. Here is a story that I want to share. That there was a farmer in a far village. He was very mindful, you want to say. Um, so he was one day the neighbor came to him and asked him, you know, you have a good horse. Tomorrow, you know, when the horse grows up, or you know, you can you know, get it mated with the next door neighbor, and you may have another horse. And so he was just saying the positive things that may happen because he has one horse. And the farmer goes, I don't know. He doesn't know tomorrow what can happen or not happen. He says, okay, I don't know. So that happens. The next day, his boy takes the horse for a ride, and the horse runs away. The boy comes back empty handed. So the neighbor comes back again. The neighbor goes, oh, that's so bad. Your horse ran away now. You know, you wouldn't have money. You wouldn't have additional horses. You know, you spent so much money raising the horse. Now it's gone. The farmer goes, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, is
You know,
it good? Is it bad? It's like, how are you going to interpret it?
yeah,
You don't know.
yeah. And then the next day, the horse comes back with another horse, following the horse, and then there are two horses. The farmer comes, oh wow, lucky, you're so lucky. You have two horses now. The farmer goes, I don't know, you know. So story goes on, and every moment there are things that are shown to him that either worsen or become better, but he doesn't really know whether it's worse or not because it changes so day by day.
Yeah.
And that's exactly same with our life. Like you don't know which song may tomorrow may become a hit on YouTube, and next thing you are there, or somebody just kills YouTube. Who knows? We don't know. We are just making up these stories that, and we really don't know if there is
Yeah.
anything. There's the truth is it's all imagination. Like what we think about future is
My
our
cat.
imagination.
The cat
Yeah.
says, I want to be part of this conversation. Here, you want to lay down? Oh,
Yeah.
but yeah, yeah, I hear you. It is. It's just like I wrote this one song. I was sitting by the river, and it's
Mm,
called "We Don't Need to Know," you know.
mm,
And I study the Gene Keys, and Gene Key 61 is all about surrendering the need to know.
mm,
And the gene keys are really cool because it's a path. I mean, there's about 64 codons that are in the DNA, and it's
mm,
connected to the I Ching, astrology, and human design. So, kind of all three of those. And
mm,
everybody has like 11 keys that are in their hologenetic profile. Like, those are their major keys. And so, one of my big keys is the 61. And the
mm,
61 is the pathway from psychosis defined by the need to know
Mm,
right? It's like the need to know is like a psychosis. It's like you're just like,
mm,
ah. So the need to know, and then at the highest frequency of this particular gene key, because it's like frequent, they're like music. When you're out of the fear-based reality, you ascend in frequency, right? So at the
mm,
lowest frequency, there's this cacophony of psychosis, like I need to know, I need to know, I need to know, I need to know, right?
mm,
It's like, and then it moves all the way to sanctity, which is literally like you are God. You're
mm,
experiencing yourself as God. So it's this pathway from the cacophony of psychosis and the need to know to actually becoming the embodiment of the frequency of God through the
mm,
gift of inspiration. So it's
mm.
it's so it's like you just keep inspiring yourself. You keep following the thing that inspires you, right?
Mm,
Keep moving towards, like, say if you have two choices in any moment, is this one inspiring me or is this one? And you do the one that
mm,
is inspiring, right? And then as you follow that inspiration and you surrender the need to know, like where you're
mm,
going, it's just that which one's pulling on your heart, like which one
mm.
lights you up, which one you go, yeah, I want to do that, or
Yeah.
if it's not even that exciting, like which one's brighter, feels brighter, let's do that. And
Mm,
so as you follow that path of brightness, of continual brightness, then you become the frequency of that bright of God. And in
mm,
that, your mind surrenders the need to know. Literally, it doesn't surrender the need to know until you're literally vibrating as 0 point and the mind is completely silent. So
mm,
it's a tough key because it means that mind is going to be grasping through every step of the way.
mm,
Only when you literally become the embodiment of God does the mind go, "Oh, I'm good."
mm,
But
mm,
but
mm,
it takes a lot. You know what I mean? It's like you're good finally. You're now
mm,
emanating the very frequency of 0 point, and now you're good. So but it just shows you that need to know, and how some of us are really, that's part of our life, is to surrender that need to
mm.
know completely. And that's going to be like we're going to be doing that 24/7. We're going to be working on surrendering that thing, because that gene key is right there in the chart, and it's like, oh, this is my curriculum. Somebody else might have very different curriculum, but
Yeah.
I should do your chart and find out what your keys are. That'd be fun.
Sometime we
Yeah.
should.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so just chiming in there with that experience of surrendering the need to know. And sometimes what I find is when I'm getting like an upgrade in my consciousness, like I'm moving to a new level of light accretion,
Mm,
I go through that period where it feels like the boat that was docked, it was docked on the old shore. It feels like it's being pulled out of its mooring, its anchor,
mhm,
it's coming up, and then it's being pushed out onto the open sea, and I can't see where, I don't know where it's going. But in
mm,
that, but in that openness, that vastness of what the ego doesn't like is that unknown. But the soul is
yeah.
like, awesome. We're pulling out all these old neural networks, and now
Mm,
we can move towards these higher configurations. So oftentimes what the soul loves the most is what the ego is horrified by.
mm.
Until
Yeah,
the
yeah,
ego and the soul merge their whole purpose and we become God, then everything's cool.
yeah, yeah. Absolutely. You got it all covered.
Anyway, Manpreet, I don't mean to like, what's the word? Dominate the. That's another gene key of mine. I've got gene key 26 in my heart, which is at the
Mm,
center of the chart. And
mhm,
GMP 26 at the shadow frequency is pride. It's all about that ego that just wants to be seen, wants to be famous, just thinks if I could be famous, all my problems would be gone, right? That's
mm,
pride. And then it moves all the way to the highest frequency of invisibility, literally.
mm,
Like you're totally invisible, but you're so filled with love.
Mm.
that you don't care.
Mm.
So it means, yeah, that's my heart key. 26 to, okay, it goes from pride to invisibility through the gift of artfulness.
Mm.
So you're gonna
Nice.
influence your reality in an artful and loving way, right? You're
Mm.
not gonna like control your reality or manipulate it, right, to pull energy toward yourself, but you're gonna artfully send a song into the field or artfully send a prayer.
Mm.
So it's like this, yeah, it's quite a key.
Amazing.
Anyway, tell me some more stuff, that anything you want to say, because my mouth will just keep going. So I'm gonna be quiet.
um, let's see what shows up in this moment. I yeah, I think what shows up whenever am able to center myself and sit quiet, and it's always about love. Like
Love.
everything we we are here for and everything we should be doing, as long as there is love, everything else just falls in place, like it's peaceful. It doesn't mean that you won't be, you won't be having pain, but you will not suffer uh, with that love. That's the quality of love. And and it's almost like a decision. It's not something that's gonna come itself. You have to make a decision that I want to love myself. I want to love others. I want to enjoy my life. And that happens when you are loving, when you're giving love,
When you're
you know,
giving love, yeah, it's so true.
because our soul doesn't, it's, so many people of us are um, like to believe that we want to receive love. We do in a certain way, but what we want to do more is want to give love. But we decide, like we are so careful who do we give love to, and 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 we find that. I'll tell you, when you sent me your first message, I felt love in that moment
Oh,
listening to it was pure. It came through you. I felt connected. There was nothing else needed in that moment. And that's the quality of love, that is just it's just settles all the noise. You don't need anything.
yeah, it's so true. It's so simple, isn't it? Hey, can I sing you a song?
Yeah,
I'm
sure,
thinking I
sure.
must know a good song that has love in it. I mean, all the songs. I think songs of, what was that song? I think I sent you Spirit Come Home. That's kind of a long one, but see if I can remember this one. I think I'm gonna bring it down a little bit. Sometimes, just like making up a song, like
Mm.
we are here to love at the core of it all. When all is said and done, love is why we came here. Simply loving, we become all that we're meant to be. I with you, and you with me. We came made it up.
That was beautiful.
It's like,
Amazing.
yeah, when it comes down to it, I mean, we can try to think, interpret it, or put it into other things or goals or achievements, but when it comes right down to it, it's just joy. I think when we're feeling love, we're in joy. It's like joy and love are such close
Yeah,
sisters
yeah,
or brothers or partners, because when we're loving, we feel joy. And when we're in joy, we feel love, right? So it's like
yeah.
this.
You can invoke either way. You can invoke one of those. You can decide to invoke one of those emotions, and other will follow. Yeah,
The other one just totally
always.
like that horse, he comes back with two horses. It's like you go on the joy horse and all of a sudden you've got the love horse right next to you. And then you go on the love
Mm.
horse and you got the joy horse right next to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Amazing.
So anyway, it's just been really sweet to talk to you. Let's see how much time I know we've got just about an hour, so we've got just about 10 more minutes to shoot the breeze, or more like 15 maybe. Do you know any Sanskrit chants that you like to sing? First, I should ask you, do you like to sing?
I don't do chanting much, but and I don't know Sanskrit one other than the one that I've heard in India. Om Namah Shivaya is what I don't know
Om
even if
Namah
it's that.
Shivaya. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I've heard that.
Do you want to
Um,
chant it with me? I don't, bye,
so,
sweetheart. I don't want to put
yeah,
you on
you
the
can.
spot, but I just go, let's see. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Mm,
And then it said, Om Namah
mm,
Shivaya. Yeah, that's the one I know. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. You have a very nice speaking voice. I love listening. That's why I'm trying to draw you out. As a sound healer and a musician, I'm like, okay, Manpreet, come on, let's hear that voice of yours.
yeah, yeah. I don't.
It's
I
okay if you don't
have
want to.
bad thinking. I don't chant. That's why I was just listening. But
And no
yeah.
problem. It's okay. I'm just always
Mm.
like, that's my thing, right? So I'm just like,
No, no, that you are beautiful. You should take that out more
that's
to
my
other
thing.
podcasts.
Yeah. Om Namah Shivaya. There's a really
Have you heard this uh, song called "Long Time Son"?
oh yeah. So many people do that. Yeah. See, there's so many versions.
Yeah, there's so many versions. I actually, um, I wanted to. I planned when I did that, even that at the end of it, that would be the song that we'll depart with, but didn't happen.
With a long
Yeah.
time, sun shine upon you. All love surround you, and the pure light within you guide your way on. You can do it now and then. But yeah,
Mm.
there's so many different versions, because Sanatam Kaur has her
Yes,
version.
Natham Kaur is the one
And
I
then,
love.
yeah, and then Tina Malia. This was
Mhm.
Tina Malia's version. And it's just
Mm.
like there's so many versions. But yeah, what's Sanatam's Kaur's tune? I'm trying to remember. I don't want to get like copyrighted for. We love you, Snatam. We don't want to copyright you and Tina Malia. But yeah, that song is kind of like water. It's hard to
Mm.
copyright water, right? Because it's something everyone should have. And so to own it is kind of, I don't know who was it. Was that a Sikh prayer like Yogi Bhajan? I don't know
Which
who
one?
brought that.
Which one?
May the long time sun. I mean, it's
No. I think it was supposedly some Irish prayer, and they just made as part of their workshops that when they would finish their workshops, they would sing that, which it's a beautiful prayer. I mean, what I've heard is that this used to be Irish prayer that people would pass on to anybody
yes.
leaving the home, going out.
Yeah, and it has more words. The Irish
Yeah.
version has more words. It's like, let's see if I can remember it. And it's got a different tune. May
Mm,
the long time sun shine upon you. May the
mm,
rain fall softly on your fields. May the sun da 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 da. Oh gosh. And may you always be held in the palm of God's hand or something at the very end.
mm.
Oh well. Look at this picture
Yeah.
behind me. It's kind of like the divine mama. She's like a Mayan
Yeah, I've seen
mama.
that.
I think she's like Mayan and she's got like the whole community in her hands. And in
Mm,
that song it says, "And may God hold you in the palm
mm.
of her hand or his hand." So,
Nice.
yeah, I've had this picture since 1983. I found
Oh,
it.
wow.
And I just like I have it. It's just like when I do a song circle or when I do a tantric heart circle, it's like, oh, there she is. That's the picture. I
Mm,
love so much.
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
Did you make it? I mean, like, did you paint it or
No,
you bought
no, a
it?
woman named Karuna, and then her name was Wahaba, and she makes these tapestries. I'm trying
Mm,
to look for her online and I can't find her to like thank
hmm.
her. But yeah, she lived in Hawaii for a while and then in the
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest. Let's see, here's a song you might like. We are awakening, we are remembering, we are rising up to give. We are awakening, we are remembering, we are rising up to live. Take a joyful place at the feasting table. Take a joyful place at the feasting table. We are awakening, we are remembering, we are rising up to live.
Mm,
We are awakening, we are remembering, we are rising up to give. I love that idea of like this feasting table, right, where we're all sharing just our essences, our presences together,
hmm.
and the whole of that festival of that great feast. And my angels, they call that, my friend who channels the angels, she always says, the reunion and celebration, beloved one.
Mm,
So as we awaken from this night, it's just all about reunion and celebration. So we're all just gathering for the feast, and we're gathering for the celebration. And
mm.
so I love that song. It just kind of came to me out of the blue. I think this one, I'll sing one more. This one's kind of about meditation and finding our core source within. Same chords exactly. Sometimes I just do A minor and G and make up a song, right? Because
Mm,
deep in the heart of everyone is a flame that burns like the great central sun. Deep in the heart of everyone is a flame that burns like the great central sun. Stroke that flame till it grows, your love light blooming like a rose. Stroke that flame on either side till it spreads out far and wide. We are one in the great central sun, returning, returning.
Amazing.
There's that joy, love again, right? It's like you find the flame of that joy. And yesterday I was actually like putting my finger like right on my belly button, and it felt like I was starting to like access the joy of my own light body, and I was like, whoa, this is what I've been seeking out there. It's like, it's in here. It's
Mm, mm.
I make joy milkshakes just by being alive, joy. So it was an interesting experience. I'm not always in that place, but it felt like I like put a straw into the joy of my own
Mm,
core, and I was like sipping it in my breath. Do you
mm.
ever like take a deep breath and just feel like you're actually beginning to like sense what your true essence, like what it tastes like on an energetic level?
Not
In
sure.
the
I
breath.
don't think I have ever
Yeah, I think that's
felt
what's
like that.
coming. That's what's coming more and more, is we're going
Mm,
to start being able to like imbibe of our own essence, our own joy.
mm,
It's the carbon-based state of the atom blocks us from drinking our own joy. And as we break the carbon base and become crystalline, then we're like this super conductive, self-feeding joy
mm,
open circuit, right? So that's our next level of evolution. That's where we're going, and
mm,
it's gonna be cool.
mm.
Anyway, my dear, so I know you need to go. So I want to be mindful. Is there anything
Uh,
else that you want to say to us? I've really enjoyed just hanging out and chatting, getting to
No,
know you a little more.
I just think this was beautiful, and I think you just need to find other avenues to um, take your knowledge and your music to more
Oh,
people. You have your own podcast, but I think I see somebody in you who wants to go on and just sing and share the wisdom, and so you should be looking to getting into other podcasts, right?
definitely, definitely. Yeah, and speaking, and one of my ultimate dreams is just to travel from community to community, sharing group song.
Mm,
That's
mm.
one of my greatest joys is gathering people to sing.
Yeah, I can
Some of
see you that you can do that.
the highest moments, right, of my life. I remember when I first heard Krishna Das, he came to Portland,
Mm,
and there were like 150 of us all singing together. And it was like this sea of ecstasy.
mm,
And I was like, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for all my life. We're all just sounding these simple Sanskrit chants, and the whole entire mind field is in this unified love bliss. And we're all creating it together with our own essence of sound
mm,
and love, right? Because we're focused on love, and we're
mm,
focused on unity and beauty. And then our sound, this all of us making these sounds with our heart focused on unity and beauty. And this emergent property is like field,
mm,
this field of such oneness. And I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. I want to gather people to sing. This is all I really want to do. How am I going to do that? Well, I'm still working on it. I do song circles here in Portland. I'm trying to get a choir
mm.
together here in Portland. Um, could go to
Keep
Singing
doing.
Alive.
I think the doors will open up one step to the next. Keep doing it.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. And sometimes I just go outside and I sing to the birds and the trees, and
Mm,
the birds just respond immediately when I'm singing songs of joy or songs of unity. The birds, and then the trees, the branches are moving, the wind, it becomes this huge like interactive dance. So I'm like, okay,
mm,
I could use some more. I'd love to have like some people here with me, but at least I've got nature. This is, you know.
mm.
So yeah, if you're listening to this and you're in Portland, Monday nights we do group song here, so you can just comment on the video. We're not doing this Monday because oh, maybe we should do this Monday. It's my husband's birthday, and we may go out to
Mm.
dinner on that night. But anyway, so Manpreet, thank you for chatting, and I hope I haven't monopolized our.
No, no, no. You were thinking, you were just bringing the joy, and we were letting what was unfolding. So thank you. It was wonderful. And look
My
back.
butterfly says, I gotta say hello too. Butterfly, butterfly, we're all in the cocoon. Soon we'll be butterflies. But we can enjoy
Amazing.
every step of the journey, even as we're still in our caterpillar state. Because every step in the journey is to be savored. Ooh,
Amazing, amazing.
Okay, Manpreet. Well, let's do it again sometime soon. Let's keep each other posted, because this planet is going through big evolution. And just know if weird stuff starts happening, I'm your girl. I've been through every level of multidimensional embodiment. I know it all. Out of body, near death, whatever you're going through, just call me up. I'll probably be like,
I will.
oh,
I will.
I know that one.
Amazing. All right.
Okay.
Take
All
care,
right.
Sarah.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
bye, Manpreet. Blessings. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Agents of Healing and Beauty. And thank you, Manpreet, for joining us today.
Thank you.
We'll see
Take
you.
care, Sarah. Bye.
Bye-bye. We'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Yes.